Alrighty, so Rangoku is officially out and about, of course, for CN and SEA. Obviously, global, when it's your guys' reset, that is when she'll be available. But you guys are probably watching some training videos that basically I've been doing a lot of testing just to kind of see where we're at with the Rangoku. How does she fare? How well does she support Gin? And obviously, is she going to be that alternative go-to support now for abnormal damage? Obviously, kind of, you know, sparing Urahara, giving Urahara that little break that he deserves, of course. And I've done multiple runs. Obviously, I've kept it with the Aizen rotation since that's kind of like the best team comp. I wasn't, my Tozen isn't quite built up, and to be fair, I wasn't really seeing anything too drastic in terms of the Tozen's play, so I kept up with doing the damage calculations with Aizen, Gin, and Rangiku, of course. So just to give it to you plainly, in terms of how well that she has been doing, obviously if you have the Urahara support, Gin will do more damage through his ultimate and whatnot, skills, etc. Of course, Rangoku is furthermore support. Then again, I should mention, because I will have to go through all my stats and whatnot so you guys can get an idea. But Rangiku right now is like 2 mil short of catching up to Urahara support. That is like easily doable. So in the case of where I've got my Rangiku right now to what Urahara produces in a rotation play, or of a single rotation play, should I say. If I work on my Rangiku, she will easily surpass the support of Urahara to what Gin can produce. So right now I've been averaging just over 8 mil with Gin, and that is a rotation play of his skill going into his ultimate. Now, excluding the normal attack, the technique, the ultimate, right? If we focus on the abnormal damage and damage over time in a long-term aspect of a fight itself, Rangoku is the better option. Why? Because of that impale, right? A certain amount of hits, once we get to 100 point, she can apply that impale. The W thing about the kit that Rangiku has is that her kit, her skill stays on the field, and each time it hits, it actually applies a +10 on the impale. So it's a lot more consistent through her rotation play. Not only that, of course, if you manage to get a full rotation of Rangiku off, of course, utilizing her ultimate with her technique, of course, the abnormal damage for me right now, I was able to do 400k abnormal damage, which is a huge jump, because before Rangoku having the Urahara support with the abnormal damage play, I was doing roughly around about 230k. With Rangoku, I'm doing 400k on average. If I'm not utilizing a full rotation, it is just below, in between 300 to 350. I think the lowest a low roll that I've seen it do is 280, somewhere around there. So still, it is a significant, even at a low roll, it is a huge jump in terms of the consistency of that impale damage being applied throughout the fight itself. So yeah, she is definitely worth the investment. Now, with all that being said, here is my Rangoku right now. This is kind of where I got her. Now, I just quickly want to briefly give my thoughts and opinions on investing into her. You guys don't have to go to the extent that I have. If I'm being completely real, if you want to keep her at 60, 70, that's completely fine, because realistically with Rangoku, it's more so on the abnormal support side of it. So obviously leveling up will effectively boost her HP, attack, and defense. The only thing that I guess you could really do with is raising the attack. The reason why I say this is because on the main passive, upon impact, each Ash Blade deals damage equal to 200% of the attack of the character on the... Oh, okay, wait, hold on a minute, I didn't even read that part. Oh, in that case, yeah, you don't really need to bother with the base stats. My bad. I thought this was effectively in correlation to Rangiku's attack stat, but that is not the case. The investment isn't anything too major for this character. It's more so just kind of prepping her in the abnormal side of it. So yeah, you don't have to invest too much into her. If you want to keep her at 70, 60, again, that is you know, that's probably advisable, to be honest. That way you can keep your resources at the ready. But yeah, as you guys can see, I've got the ultimate as well as the skill itself at level 10. Obviously I'm just still waiting on duping her out. I'm 3 dupes off, of course, so in terms of me testing, this is kind of where I had her. I didn't just obtain these. So I managed to get her to basically the halfway mark, and so that's kind of how I did my calculations, of course. But passives have been maxed out, so we're utilizing the most of that. So 10, 10, 8, so it really doesn't matter. Obviously you want to focus on the ultimate and the technique. Well, more so on the ultimate, because of course that will allow your thrust elements to do more damage. So right now mine's at 28.5%, so there's that. But yeah, and then of course when it comes to the dupe, make sure at the very least you get that second dupe, because that's the crucial important one, because of course this will grant the teammates an extra 30% of Rangiku's abnormal damage bonus to the character, well, in this case Gin predominantly. So yeah, this is the most important one, as I would say. Finally, the stamp cards. Now when I last did a building video for this character, I suggested the Urahara set, and it's still valid, the Urahara set. I've got one already built for her, of course. Obviously with the Urahara set, you do want to make sure that you're really focusing on that abnormal damage play, of course. Everything that I suggested in that video is still valid. I'm just going to leave it as that. Linkage play, obviously I kept with a support play. It does suggest to use this, but I would not do that. It just gives it an extra 32% on the combat skill. We wouldn't say it. Oh, and okay, no, unless you want to utilize her in a damage way, then you can do so. But I would use the first linkage, because you're pushing more for Gin, of course. Now, as you guys can see, I do have the Gin set on, which is actually technically valid for Rangoku. She is, in a weird way, a bit of like a support DPS, support sub DPS in a way. You can utilize her in that fashion, and the reason why I'm using Gin set right now is because, well, I'm putting some damage behind her, which is valid, and more importantly, obviously giving us that attack stat up, so we can, well, I mean, again, it doesn't really matter about the attack stat, but we do, so we are at 221 with the abnormal damage play, hence why with this tactic alone, I'm able to achieve that 400k on the abnormal damage side of things, of course. So, bit of damage behind her, she's really elevating that abnormal damage impel play for Gin. And again, with this play right now, in comparison to Urahara, I am literally just under 2 mil short from surpassing just a singular rotation play. There we go. So in a long-term fight, once I get the remaining dupes of her, and then obviously cater more so on leveling up her skills and whatnot, farming out those last bit of percentages, she will be surpassing Urahara's support for Gin. So yeah, she is the Gin support, basically, is what we're trying to get at. So once again, realistically, in terms of investing into her, leveling up her core, you don't need to go as heavy. 70, 60, if you want to keep it around there, that's completely fine. Realistically, it's more so on this here is what you want to kind of heavily cater to, because stat wise, if I'm being completely real, just kind of you want to make sure that abnormal damage is up. Again, if you do want some damage behind her, then you know, you can focus on that, of course, giving her some damage and whatnot. That's completely fine. In that case, you know, you level up a tad bit more if you choose to, if you want to get that base stat up, of course. But low investment, keep her at 70, keep her at 60, and then go heavy on the stamp cards. And then yeah, Gin will be doing well, he will be doing more damage, should I say? He will be doing more damage. Just be wary of one thing, which I've just realized. The levels to these skills, if I can remember correctly, I think they're in correlation to the leveling up of the character skills, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. Okay, they are. But I mean, on the plus side, because we get her dupes for free, I mean, we do get that, what was it, +2, so that does help out tremendously. So there is that. Now, one last thing, I'm actually going to see if I can get some games going before I end the video, but I'm pretty sure there's a bug right now with Rangiku, so let me just triple check. Alright, okay, so I think, because I have tried to play with this Rangiku, but a freeze does happen, so let me just double check if it's all fixed now, if it's still there. I don't know. Oh, wait, she's kind of, oh wait, she's on the field. I was going to say, she's locked. Okay, hold up. There we go. Get Gin out. I think we're good. I think we're good. So the one thing which I will say is that timer on, oh god, that timer on that skill is very long for her combat skill. Don't know how I feel about it. There we go. Boom, boom. Oh, it might be fixed actually. Okay, we're good, we're good, we're good. We'll just play it out. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Rangiku. Oh, damn it. Yeah, it's doing it now. Okay, so unfortunately I can't have too much fun with Rangoku. As you guys can see, every time you use the skills and whatnot, it does bug out the game, so that I believe a hotfix needs to be released. You can use her in training. That's what I've been doing all my damage calculation, hence why I say with what I've said in terms of beforehand. But yeah, unfortunately right now she basically is holding the game hostage. So we're gonna have to wait and for a hotfix before we can actually try her out in modes and whatnot and see what damage we can push out. But yeah, hopefully it gets fixed soon, because I do want to see on how furthermore we can surpass using this character for supporting Gin and get some final high score on the Ulquiorra fight in particular. Obviously my Gin is halfway maxed out, he's not fully maxed out, so to those that have a maxed out Gin, enjoy. Rangoku is a beast of a support unit, of course. But yeah, just kind of wanted to go over her build a little bit, slight little changes, but at the end of the day, not too much of an investment is required for the support character to get the best out of Gin, which is fantastic. But she herself is a pretty solid support character, and going forward, she definitely will be supporting the abnormal damage side of it until we get obviously another support unit for that. But in this case, I am extremely happy. I'm just over the moon to be achieving 400 abnormal damage play. That is still insane to me. So happy about that. I can only imagine how others are, because again, if you push more for her abnormal damage stat, then you'll be applying more impelled damage. I really want to go and just go all out and push it more. I might have to level 30 her kit. I don't want to waste it, but I'm really considering it just to see if I can reach 500,000 impelled damage.